And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Put your thumbs up and say it's Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo, Tickety Boo, everything's Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo, son. Tickety Boo.
Tickety Boo.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tickety Boo. I'm back in the studio this time with a bit of a difference. We have a very good friend of mine, BBC Radio host Phil Upton. How you doing, Phil?
Very good. Thanks very much for the invite.
You're very welcome.
Lovely to be here.
I'm looking forward to this one. It's card shuffle time, which means we've got absolutely no idea what we're going to be talking about. We have a deck of cards. They've got questions on. We'll literally shuffle. Phil, I'll get you to say stop.
Okay.
And whatever that card hits us with, that's what we're going to chat about.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ready?
Bring
All
it
right,
on.
let's go for it. So whenever you're ready, you just shout stop and we'll literally take that card.
Stop.
Oh, this is a really big question.
Uh-oh.
This is a really big question.
Gosh.
You ready for it?
Okay.
Are you happy?
Oh, man.
Rabbit hole. Let's go down it. Yeah, that's a really big
Yeah.
question. Are you happy?
You're both looking at me, so that means you want me to start.
No, I think, are you happy? I mean, unless you're on some really kind of good drugs, you're not happy
Yes, please.
all the time, are you?
No.
So I
Define
suppose,
happy.
define happy. I think
Content?
for me, content,
Yeah.
or fulfilled,
Yeah.
Or peaceful.
a life of purpose. So I think for me, are you happy? For me is a yes and no. Because there's areas of life that are not maybe as in balance as they should be, and that's where the happiness and contentment dissipates. What about you guys?
I would look at it almost like a kind of a 0 to 100. You know, you're never 100, are you?
No.
And there'll be points where you may be below 50, maybe points at times in your life where you're like 10, 20 or 30. But most people are probably oscillating between sort of 50 and 100.
Yeah.
You know? So right now, I'm an 85 guy, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, you know, as you say, you know, there's always that little bit that could, you know, that would take you to 90 or 95. But yeah, largely 85, I would say. 80, 85.
What about you?
I think that's a good number. I like that. It's on this sliding scale, isn't it? So I think for people, they're chasing this like extreme high of what they think I'm chasing. I just want to be happy and trying to get to that point of 100. I think that's what they think life is meant to be. If I'm happy, it'll be like you'll be running on all cylinders at 100 and it'll always be that extreme rush. Whereas actually it is an ebb and flow. And I think we get to be satisfied in the ebb and flow, and from a psychological point of view, knowing that it ebbs and flow, that we can't function at 100 miles an hour all the time. We need to sort of come, I guess it's not lower our expectations, because having happiness is this thing we have to attain to, because everybody's, you know, the cycle of everyone's looking for happiness. They're out into the wilderness to find themselves. So I like that sort of, we fluctuate on that sliding scale. I'm going to do that.
Well, if you ran the car at 100 mile an hour all the time, it's no good. It's no good for it.
Well, you'd need to service it more than once a year for a start, wouldn't you? So yeah.
Yeah.
Probably got a few speeding tickets.
You know, happiness is one of those words. Do you think most people struggle figuring out what it is that makes them happy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I had an episode in life where I thought shiny stuff made me happy. Cars, phones, laptops, the bling.
Yeah.
I call it shiny shit syndrome.
Okay.
I think, and I'm still in an element of figuring out what kind of brings on that feeling of happiness. Little things that definitely do for me are slow mornings.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is you can get up, you can have a coffee, you can breathe, you can walk the dog, you can take time out before you're into email, phone calls, worky stuff. That I never realized that actually that would create contentment and happiness kind of spills off the back of it. Are you like, if you today were feeling quite low, or you were at 30 mile an hour, do you know the things you can go and do that are going to lift you up that scale a little bit?
Yeah.
So I would think more about that. I mean, and as you highlighted there, was almost like the journey to get to 100, and everyone's kind of on this lifelong journey to get to 100.
Yeah.
And aren't we actually talking about being present in the moment and actually right now? You enjoy being in the moment now, because if you're going to be on this lifelong search to get to 100, guess what, folks? You're never going to get there, or very few people do they? So rather than sort of always be aiming for this ultimate destination, which is somewhere just off down there somewhere, where we are right now, when you asked me the question, I did think before I spoke and thought, right, where am I in life right now? Am I happy right now in my circumstances, in my present today?
Yeah.
I'm here broadcasting with you. This for me is a morning well spent, a day well spent doing stuff like this.
Fulfilled.
So are we, in terms of managing that question? Oh, when it crosses your mind, I'm not happy, Okay. If you're living in the present right now, you've got a good meal to look forward to tonight. Okay. And I often think, and I ride a bike quite a lot, and that gives me quite a lot of peace. And if I'm struggling on the bike, it's a hard day or it's an incline coming, I just go, all right, life's like a bike ride. Okay. I often say life's like a bike ride. I've got a hill coming. Okay. It's going to be tough. Okay. But I am going to get over this.
Yeah.
And some point today, I will be home, and at some point today, I will have a warm shower. And at some point today, I will eat food, and I will be in the comfort of my home and myself. Right now, in the next half an hour, 45 minutes, it's going to be, and it's for me, a bike ride is a microcosm of life, And
Great metaphor, by the way.
Yeah. And sometimes you've got to just come off the gears a bit. You know what? Today, I'm just going to ride down one gear.
So do you think then our real issue around finding that sweet spot with happiness is the amount of energy we invest in avoiding the discomfort of the journey?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a hill. I'll turn the bike round.
Yeah. Or I'll take the flat route.
That way. Yeah. Or I'll get the bus.
Yeah.
I'll jump on the bus.
It happens. And people do. There's the soft option sometimes.
Yeah. And I think in the struggle, there's reward, isn't there? That's where resilience and grit is built. And it's almost like the sun shines on the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
And knowing that you've gone up a hill before and it didn't kill you, obviously, so you can get up this hill, you can get to the other side. Because I think another thing that people say is, I'll be happy when I lose the weight, when I get that job, when I get the new car. And that is the biggest killer of happiness. I'll be happy when. We're attaching it to this distant goal. And actually, when you get there, you find that, I've attained that car, the weight or whatever it is you were chasing, and it doesn't resolve that feeling of the 30% or the hollow or the emptiness or the dissatisfaction. So it's finding and being in that present moment. And I know for me, it's getting outside. Like, that's my medicine. If I can get out and get some fresh air. I love these longer days that we're getting now. That makes me happy. I struggle a little bit in wintertime. But it just reminds me that I have to get outside, because no matter how much, if I'm struggling and I'm on that, like the lower side of our sliding scale, I know the things I need to do. But sometimes, quite frankly, I don't want to do them, and I want to just watch Netflix and go bar humbug. And then the next day I can get up and start again and go for that walk. But yeah, sometimes I sabotage myself.
I think it's really interesting, because happiness is actually a feeling that's always inside of us.
Yeah.
But the stuff outside of us that we use to trigger it. So, you get out into nature, the feeling comes up. Yeah. But you allow yourself to feel that feeling in an environment, because this is how quickly this can change. So for some of you, you're really happy out in nature. Yeah. So you feel that feeling. But if you're walking through a forest and you suddenly realize you're lost, the feeling completely changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
And it's actually the way that we think about the situation So what I'm sort of saying is you can tap into happiness. I get people in the therapy room going, I'm using alcohol or cannabis or some other healthy coping mechanism to create this feeling of peace or calm. And I'm like, what does calm feel like for you?
Yes.
And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And they're telling me. And as they're telling me, they're actually creating it in the room without a stimulus or a trigger. So weirdly, it's something we can activate pretty much anywhere within reason.
So maybe the question then isn't, are you happy? The question is, as you say, what does happiness feel like?
And what do I do? Well, it's probably somebody who's struggling right now. Probably want to slap me when I say this. Is you just decide to be happy.
Yeah, that's been said to me before. That's been said to me before. Okay, I just woke up one day and decided to be happy. And that's easy to say that. It's so easy to say that, isn't it? But as you say, if you've got place, so for example, you're seasonal reference.
I am.
Right, okay. So and again, I'll fold it back to life's a bike ride. Okay, my hill is your winter. Right. Okay, and me going up a hill, knowing at some point there's a top to this, then there will be a downhill. At some point, winter ends. Some point, spring comes. At some point, you'll get back those light nights and. Somebody said something to me so powerful the other day. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. And if you are struggling, you are feeling like that at the moment, and you don't feel happiness, or you don't ever think you'll find happiness, it's coming at the top of that hill. It's coming at the end of that month. It is there.
It's a really good phrase, and it is. Everything is temporary because it's very easy to say, oh, you can choose to be happy when you can't afford to pay your mortgage that month, or your rent that month, or you can't afford to put, food on the table. But I think in those moments, it's giving you permission to say to yourself, do you know what? I will figure this out. I will work my way through this. And there's two ways I can do it. I can either be really hard on myself and berate myself and focus on all the things that are going wrong in my life, or I can actually go, do you know what? I don't know how, but I will get through this. I will figure it out. And if I'm kinder to myself, I'm going to get to solutions so much quicker than focusing on everything that is wrong. Because we've all been at these points in life, haven't we, where we're like, you've got your back against the wall and you're like, what am I going to do now?
A friend of mine who's recently been diagnosed with a melanoma, a malignant melanoma, and they absolutely they did that. They berated themselves because they'd seen this dark spot for about 18 months and just thought it was a bruise that just didn't go away. And when it finally got diagnosed as a melanoma and a malignant one, they then spent the next few weeks. Why did I not get seen her sooner? I've wasted 18 months. If I'd got this sooner, it'd have been treated quicker. And of course, now it's got to a point where there's going to need to be some quite major surgery in order to do that. But they're now at a stage where, okay, I'm going to have this major surgery. But I tell you what, between now and then, I'm on the golf course every day. I'm maxing the sunny days. I'm flying to so-and-so destination. I'm going to swim while I can before I have this operation to remove blah, blah, blah. And they're still able to, despite there's this, mild threat that they live with every day, they're still able to find a happiness in a moment, in a given moment, on a golf course, in a swim, that means that's attainable and achievable, even when you had a diagnosis like that.
And isn't it, I think there's a really big lesson in that, that we wait until the wheels have come off to then decide to start living life.
It's true.
It's like, I'm just going to go and rip the backside out of life now because that is about to be taken away from me, rather than getting up every day and go, I'm just going to rip the backside out of life anyway, rather than waiting for crisis wheels to come off where I'll go and grab every bit of oxygen I can before it's removed.
Well, and I think what Phil's saying there, what I'm hearing, is that it's finding those little moments of happiness. We don't have to wait until our back's against the wall, but it's finding those moments to be grateful for, even if it's as small as a grain of sand. It's being grateful for something that's happening, even if it feels like there's nothing good, like looking for that, because that builds that builds the building blocks for our resilience, for our bounce back, for, like getting up over the hill, finding those moments of gratitude. And we only need 3 a day. Like the science is out there. The data says we only actually need to find 3 gratitudes a day. And also why we're grateful for that. So it's tapping into the feeling, which we said, what does happiness feel like in my body? So why I'm grateful for going for the walk on a sunny day, but why? And so you start to build this memory bank within your body. You can make a list of it in your phone. So you have these gratitude moments with feeling, and we only need 3. It doesn't have to be 10.
So what I heard while you were saying that is actions taken prior to the feeling.
Yeah.
You decide to do something and then you allow the feeling to turn up. I think a lot of people fall in the trap of sitting and waiting for the feeling to turn up.
And something that I think you two, with your profession will recognise that actually when the feeling turns up, allowing the feeling to happen, because if you prep for it or it's coming, because there's a good chance at some point it will, then okay, I've known this is going to be coming for a while now. Okay, so I am okay to sit with this in the knowledge that this too shall pass at some point, and it will move on to something else.
Totally. So we've got to create space and capacity in our life for happiness to come in. If you're always on the go, always on the run, do, achieve, you're probably getting false spikes of dopamine that go, I'm validated, I'm happy, but then a quick plunge. But actually, if you create that space and allow happiness to come in, you get this much more natural version of it.
That's a great resolution.
I think that's
nicely summarised.
Yeah, I think that's a good landing point. Well, I must admit, when that car got read out, I thought, so but that's why we do these episodes. So thanks, guys. I kind of really enjoyed that chat.
Excellent. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. As always, we really appreciate you watching and listening, and we very much look forward to catching up with you in the next episode of Tickety Boo.